The All-Star festivities are over. It is time for the second half. And here on 3 Up 3 Down, we have 10 bold predictions. Let's go. Let's kick it off with the first one out west, where I have the Houston Astros winning the AL West by 7 games. Yes, that's right. They're currently in second place out in Houston, but have made a big run through June and July, sit only 1 game behind the Mariners at the break, and I think the Houston Astros are going to run away with the AL West in the second half. The pitching is getting healthier. The lineup is clicking. Expect Alex Bregman to have a much better second half. I have Houston running away with the AL West. Speaking of the AL West, the Seattle Mariners are going to miss the playoffs even though they have the 4th easiest schedule remaining. They have 7 games left with Oakland, with the Texas Rangers, and the Los Angeles Angels, and yet I still have the Mariners finishing out of the playoff spot. There's just no consistency to the offense. I don't know how the pitching can really get much better except in the bullpen, because outside of Andres Munoz, they've been kind of weak, but the Mariners just do not have enough offense on a consistent basis. I don't believe the hype around Julio Rodriguez making a big-time second half run. I expect more from him next year. His swing changes just have not worked out this year, so I think the Mariners take a step back and actually miss the playoffs entirely. Let's go to the National League. How about the NL MVP race? Shohei Ohtani does not win NL MVP. Yes, he's currently first in batting average, first in home runs, and third in RBIs. And the guy he's probably competing closest with in that MVP race is also a DH in Marcell Ozuna. But I think when it comes right down to the wire, the voters are going to favor positional players over any DH. As long as a DH is close to these guys in numbers, I have them winning NL MVP. My pick at the start of the year was Bryce Harper. I still think Bryce is the guy, and Shohei Ohtani is locked out of an NL MVP. One of the most fascinating races in baseball this year is going to be the National League wildcard race. You can make an argument that there's 8 teams still in this race. Currently, the last 2 spots are occupied by the New York Mets and the St. Louis Cardinals. And by the end of the season, neither of them makes the playoffs. Yes, that's right. I have 5th and 6th dropping out of the current playoff spots. I think the Mets run out of pitching. They seem to be doing fairly well offensively, but the pitching just isn't going to last. And the Cardinals have absolutely no pitching. I don't know how they're in this playoff spot. They have a negative run differential. I think they come back down to earth, and they also miss the playoffs. Some contenders in there. Look out in that NL West. How about Arizona, San Diego, or San Francisco to make a run? The Giants have one of the easiest schedules in the second half, as well as the Reds or the Pirates. Be careful of those 2 teams as well. And maybe the Cubs could even go a run. But I have the Mets and Cardinals finishing out. Trade deadline is coming up as well. You know we need some bold predictions here. The Toronto Blue Jays trade Bo Bichette to the San Francisco Giants in a package including 2 of their top 4 prospects. Those are guys like Bryce Eldridge, Carson Whisenhunt, Marco Luciano, and Mason Black. 2 of those 4 players will go to Toronto in a deal for Bo Bichette. The Giants have been superstar hunting for quite a few years now. I think they're looking to make a big-time splash. And as for the Jays, it's time to pull the trigger on this. Bo Bichette does not seem happy in Toronto. The future is Vlad. You need to get him signed. But I think Bo Bichette finds himself in NorCal. Here's a fun one for the next few years. The Pittsburgh Pirates acquire Luis Robert from the White Sox at the deadline. Yes, that is my prediction. And why is that? Well, the Pirates have an opportunity over the next 5 years to really contend in the National League because of the pitching. We've seen what Jared Jones and Paul Skeens have done. They know they've got Mitch Keller as one of the stalwarts of that rotation. Bailey Falter has been very good. They have some more youngsters coming in the rotation as well. I think they deal some of that depth to the White Sox for Luis Robert, who's got another 3 years or so with club options and only tops out at $20 million. I think the Pirates really could make a push here. It would fill a need in center field. Brian Reynolds in left, Luis Robert in center, a platoon of Connor Joe and Jack Sawinski in right. It makes a lot of sense for the Pirates. I think they pull the trigger. One team we know is looking to add a big-time bold prediction. The Baltimore Orioles acquire 2 starters, Eric Fedde and Kevin Gossman, without trading any of their top 3 prospects. Of course, that's Ethan Holiday, Samuel Basallo, and Kobe Mayo. None of those 3 guys are dealt in deal, but the Orioles stock up with Fedde, who would fit very well and is a likely candidate to go to Baltimore, and a surprise one in Kevin Gausman. Now, Gausman's got a couple years left. It's a bigger money, but this is where the financial might of the new owners in Baltimore start to take shape, and Gausman returns to where it all began in Baltimore, looking to get the Orioles into the playoff spot and in a deep run. You want one that's really going to annoy a lot of people? Here's my bold prediction. The number 6 seed in both the American League and the National League are going to make the league championship series. That's right, the number 6 seed in each side will be in the semifinal this season. That's going to annoy a ton of people. I'm not going to tell you who the teams are going to be, but I have a weird feeling that these number 6 seeds are going to go on another run and just really annoy all of you that hate this playoff format. You want to go bold? How about really bold? How about number 1 overall pick, Travis Bazzana, appears on the playoff roster and plays in a game for the Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians have been hurting up the middle. Brian Rocchio has not been great. Andre Jimenez has been solid, but I think there is a potential that come playoff time, Bazzana makes his way through the minor leagues quickly, a la Nolan Schanuel did with the Angels last year, and Bazzana plays in the playoffs for the Guardians. You could shift Jimenez over to short and get that power bat of Bazzana up the middle. I think there's a real opportunity for this, and I'm very intrigued to see how Bazzana does in the minor leagues and how quickly and aggressively Cleveland is with him through their minor league system. I'm not one to differ from my picks, so my final bold prediction is one I made at the start of the season. I'm holding true to this. The Baltimore Orioles are going to win the World Series. That was my prediction back in March. I hold to that statement still today. Baltimore Orioles are going to be your World Series champions. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of another video here on 3 Up, 3 Down. Comment down below your bold prediction for MLB's second half. You know I comment back to everybody who comments on a 3 Up, 3 Down video. As always, go check out some of my previous content. We've been rocking some out-of-the-park baseball with the Saskatoon Berries. We've been doing a lot of draft videos as well. So make sure you're checking out all that type of content. Until next time, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and take care, everyone.